Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. All right, let's go ahead and see. We're going to use all these. 6, 7, 8. Who are you dealing with? Who are you dealing with? Okay, so there's a few hidden aspects here we're going to get into. You seem like you're doing well. When I'm feeling Scorpio energy, when I'm starting right off on this, your energy is very positive, very inclusive. I feel like you're trying to pick somebody up. All right. But when I'm feeling that, it's just kind of like you can't make somebody stand up. You can try to help them up, but if they're not going to take the effort to also pick themselves up, there's only so much you can do. Now, you've got fruition when you're coming into the situation. Like, you seem to feel like you might have to help them, like, organize a little bit, but they should have this. They should have this. And I'm seeing fruition kind of like, you know what, this has gone on long enough. Whatever they're dealing with, kind of like, all right, they should have learned enough by now. They should get up and do stuff. All you should have to do is maybe help them organize a little bit. Just kind of like maybe get them moving a little bit. Maybe, spur the situation. Is that what I want to say? Like maybe light a little bit of a fire. Organization. The word organization keeps coming up too. Just kind of like, all right, well, you got to get this done that morning, and you got to get this done by Friday, and you got to get that done by the week after. Like, that might be the organization you do. Like, you got these things to be done by this morning, and these things to be done by Friday, and these things have to be done the week after. Like, let's go, do it. So, because you have fruition, kind of like, all right, get up, do it. Go. Like, go. I'm feeling your energy kind of like, go. Just like, you're telling somebody, like, go, just do it. Do it. 2 face down cards. Oh, and they are reversed. These are face down, so they come up in your reading this way. Judgment reversed, 3 of Cups reversed. Now they're face down, which is like, you're not seeing this. Other people are undermining the whole situation. Now, it may not be in direct contrast to you. Like, you say yes and somebody else says, what? They said yes? No. Or you say this color and they're like, what? They said blue? And the other side's like, oh, well, what's the opposite of blue? Orange. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that, but it's literally a canceling out energy, creating judgment against this person. Negative influences. For some people, this is like drinking is causing a problem. Some type of bad habit, some type of bad attitude. Literally, they're hanging out with people or they're around people that are backsliding or energy that pulls them back into a negative place. Instead of standing up and fixing things, they're kind of they're used to a negative more. They're used to an energy that's just not very positive. It's a very negative energy. And it doesn't have to be negative, like aggressive, but just like a very sedentary, just kind of like, this is how my life has been, this is what I'm used to. It's almost like an abusive situation, kind of like somebody's used to getting name called, like being called names. So when somebody does that to them, they don't even realize that it's happening. That's just something that's so familiar to them that they're not even registering, like, somebody's calling me names and that's inappropriate. They're just so used to it, like they grew up in that environment or something, you know what I mean? And I'm getting like there's a negative influence around this person. It's putting judgment against them. This is face down. You're not seeing it. That's why this is face down in the reading. Saying this is happening to this person that you don't see. This is kind of explaining like why you're looking at this person like, why aren't you doing something? Why are you returning to those bad habits? Why are you doing this? That's why they're doing it. There's that 3 of Cups reversed is telling me bad energy, bad association with negative stereotypes, negative feelings, negative behaviors, things like that. Okay, but this is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning. Like 5 minutes just to get through the beginning. Holy holy. Okay, so I'm getting like, you're not seeing that happen, but like you're seeing this person kind of return down to this like negative, lower energy, and you're just like, you know what? If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. I'm not going to sit here and play nursemaid or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to hold your hand and go, oh, poor you. You're the one deciding to go back down that path. I tried to get you out of there. All you had to do was get up and move. Just a little organization, and you would have been able to do it, but you decided not to. So, fine. I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. I'm going to move on and do other things. If you don't want to help yourself, there's nothing I can do for you. It may seem aggressive, but you're a little annoyed. You're just kind of like, you could just do so much better. You're looking at this person like you could do so much better. You clearly don't want to, and I'm over it. It is a little aggressive. It's not bad. It's just like I don't see you like yelling at anybody. I'm not feeling that energy. You're just frustrated. Like, fine. You don't want to help yourself? Nothing I can do for you. I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to keep going. Sorry. Can't just sit here and feel bad about it. I know that seems very harsh, but that's literally what I'm feeling here. You've got the balance with the release. Like you're gonna kind of like, that is the balance. Like, I can't sit here and live your life for you. I'm gonna have to go for now. It's not the end of the story, but at this point you're just like, I'm out for now. I gotta go. I gotta do the other things. You don't want to help yourself. I can't help you if you can't help yourself. If you're not willing to stand up and do something here, that's just how it is. So this person, they got the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the darkness here right between it. Like that. Whoever you're dealing with, they don't seem to like the way their life is going, but they're going back into these bad patterns. Feels like bad patterns. You could call them habits, patterns, whatever you want to do. They're not totally happy with it. They got the Four of Cups, like, why does my life have to be this way? Which is weird. But it's kind of like when you're stuck in a pattern and you don't see it for what it is. I guess that makes sense. Because they don't seem to really get that that's what's happening. It's kind of like, again, that abusive situation where somebody grew up in a home where people are just name-calling each other all the time. That it seems normal to them. It just feels normal because it's literally what they grew up in. They don't like the way their life is. They're not happy with the way their life is. The Four of Cups. They know they need something to change, but it's kind of like it's slowly coming around the mountain, is what I'm getting. This is what they're going through when you're kind of stepping away. They're not happy about it. They feel bad that you're stepping away. But they're also feeling kind of like, I want things to change, but the darkness is telling me they don't really understand what they're supposed to be doing. The thing about the darkness, this card is kind of like, it's kind of like the dark moon is just moments before the new moon hits. And the new moon is one of that's literally my favorite part of the moon phases. I love the new moon the most. That's my favorite time. That's a very great point of, like, for me, I feel like that's the moment where things can begin. That's a very pure, very on point, very centered energy. It's not overly intense. It's just very, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get ourselves together and just really start moving forward. And I feel like they're at that precipice. It's just weird because it's like these cards aren't showing me a moment where they're really coming to that epiphany, but the darkness is kind of like, well, it's at a moment where they can't stand it. They don't like the way it feels. And the fact that you're moving away from them and you're just kind of like, I'm out, it does have a profound effect on them that I feel it is a good thing. It is a good thing. It's got a very emotional connection, kind of like it's making this emotional impact that seems to be expanding, kind of like, well, they can't blame you for walking away, and you did try to help them, and they know that, and like they have to address like what's going wrong here. The Four of Cups is kind of like they're not happy, and if they're not happy, they have to address like, why are they not happy? What do they need to address here? All right, keep going forward. But this is kind of like the halfway point for the Love of Pete. 9 minutes into it. 2 more face down cards. Ooh. Okay. This is face down, like these are face down, so you're not seeing this effect actually happen. it's almost like, okay, so you tried to help them. All they needed to do was get a little kick in the butt and move forward. Instead of doing that, they regressed into bad habits, regressed into bad patterns. They're like, all right, you want to do that, then you got to do that. I'm out. I'm not going to sit here and just whine about it with you. Nope, I got to go. Some time is going to pass. It's relative to your situation. Some time is going to pass, and they got the Five of Cups with the Ace of Cups here, which I think is a great combination for this situation. They're feeling like it's. I feel like this is strange how it's coming forward, and it may seem a little bit like doing the right thing for the wrong reason. It may feel like that. They know they disappointed you, and they're feeling kind of bad about that. But they're also feeling this Ace of Cups, like they know you care. They know you care, and if they just kind of get themselves up, they pick themselves up and start doing what they need to do, that like that love that you have for them, that caring you have for them, like they know you care. They know you care, and they're just kind of like, you know what, if I just get this together, right now you're disappointed in them, and they know it. They feel bad about that. And they're like, if I just get this together and get back on track with what I should be doing, I think this can be better. If I remove myself from these negative influences, if I literally try to get up out of this pattern, which it seems like you've already shown them how to get up out of this pattern. Like you've literally helped them get out of it once. It's just you're not going to sit there and hold their hand and make sure they stay out of it. You've helped them out of it at least once. But if they're just going to insist on going back into it, well, then that's on them. But at this point, they have the knowledge to get out of it. You know what I mean? And they want you to be happier with them. Your influence means a lot to them. Your opinions mean a lot to them. Like you mean a lot to this person. Like literally, again, it might be doing the right thing for the wrong reason. They want you to be happier with them. And it makes them feel bad that you don't seem to be very pleased with them right now. And I feel like in all honesty, at this point, you're probably not. And it's getting them to stand up and take care of themselves like they should. Again, doing the right thing for the wrong reason, but, you know, give it some time. It'll come around the mountain. Maybe they'll figure it out. Because you start noticing after a while, like, they seem to be doing a little better. And I feel like you're kind of watching. You're tempted to help them. You're very tempted to help them. But I don't feel like you're going to step in just yet. I see this growth card on your side. You do have some personal growth going on here because you're reserved and you're not stepping into it. I do feel like you want to, though. But you're kind of like, no, they're doing good on their own. If I go in there and I try to do it for them, it's probably going to backslide again as soon as things are going good again. So let them do it. I gotta let them do it. And I feel like it's hard for you. You're just kind of like, I gotta let them do it. I just gotta let them do it because I think this is going well. I'm hopeful of it. The Fool card is happening between you and this person. Like, all right. This, I want to believe it. I'm optimistic. Enthusiastic here. There's, like, if they're asking you for help, you'll do that. I get that. If they ask you for help, yeah, I feel like you will. But you're not going to, like, try to make decisions for them or anything like that. You're not going to insert yourself into the situation unless they ask you to. And then it's going to depend what they're asking you to do. Like, if they, for example, want you to, like, I don't know, like, you know, clean up a room for them. And you're like, well, I'll lend you the supplies for you to do it, but you made that mess. You need to clean up that mess. Like, that might be a better thing might be, like, kind of like they're having a hard time with somebody. Maybe you have an acquaintance in common, a family member, a friend, a coworker, something like that. And they're like, can you smooth that over for me? And I feel like you might be like, well, I'm not gonna smooth it over for you, but I'll tell you how to go about it so that this person's more apt to listen to you, so you can smooth it over yourself. And I'll give you some pointers on what you need to do, but I'm not gonna do it for you. And I'm feeling like, that might be hard for you to do. That might be hard for you to do. It's not that you don't want to. It's not that you can't. I feel like you're reserved. I feel like you're like, instead of me doing that for you, I'll tell you how you should do that. And you know what? This person that you want to get, you want to make things right with them, our common acquaintance here that you're helping this person. and there's somebody you both know that they want to get back in good with, you're like, you know what, they need some help with grocery shopping, or maybe they need some help with getting this done, or they need some help with this thing. You're like, well, I know they need help with that, so why don't you offer to help with that? And then you can maybe talk things over as you're helping them with that. You probably could smooth things over doing that. You know what I mean? Something like that. They need help financially understanding how maybe loans work a little bit better because they seem to be a little confused. Maybe they need help getting better credit card rates and moving some things around so their finances can be a little bit better, and you know how to do that stuff. So why don't you give them some pointers in that area? And when you do that and you offer that, maybe then you can open up some conversations to smooth things over with other problems you've been having with that person. I feel like it's almost like you want to just fix it. You're having this gut reaction where you just want to fix it, but you're like, I know how this goes, so I'll tell them how to do it. I'll tell them what I think they should do, and I'm going to reserve myself from not getting, I'm not going to get in there and do it for them. I'm just not going to do it. I feel like the urge is there to do it, though. I feel like you want to be actively involved, but you're like, yeah, I know how that goes. Okay, so let's go forward to the ending, which I feel like is really good. I'm getting like you're trying to release yourself from this again, but this second time you're releasing yourself is in a much more positive feeling, much more positive note, if you will. You're giving this person pointers. You're very careful what you say is what I'm getting, because it's like you don't want to get in there and do things for them, because that fails. Because when you hand it back to them, they just kind of like, ooh, I don't know, and they just kind of don't handle it well. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work out, and that's the short of it. And take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like you're giving this person pointers. You're trying to help them. You're still talking to them, and still like, I feel like you're going in more of an advisory role. I see you kind of releasing. You got pleasure here, which is telling me you're still around, you're still talking, you still know what's going on in this person's life, but you're more apt to like just say, well, this is what I would do, or like, what's going on with there? Why do you think that happened? What do you think you should do? You might be pulling that. Like, I know that's a psychiatrist trick. What do you think you should do? Like, what do you think? How would you feel? How would you want that to be rectified if you were in that position? What would you want somebody to do for you? I feel like you might be getting people to talk it out that way, kind of like, I'm not even going to give you the answers anymore that I think you should do. Let's talk about it though, and tell me what happened, and tell me what would make things right if that happened to you. What would you want to be done to make things better for yourself? You're making this person. You're trying to get this person to think for themselves. You're not into living somebody's life for them. Good for you, because that's just a trap. You're not into it. You're just like, I'm not into living your life for you. I'm just not. So you got protection here with the Hermit card in the environment. Like, you're teaching somebody like to think for themselves. You know what I mean? Make their own decisions. Think about what they're doing. It's kind of like, it's kind of like this weird reverse therapy thing. What does that mean? Because you're getting them, I don't know if it's reverse therapy or some type of heart-to-heart therapy where you're kind of like, you're getting this person to think, what are they doing and what type of effect are they having, and then what type of outcome do they have to rectify based on what they want going forward. It's almost like you're getting somebody to think ahead a little more, like, before I cheat on somebody, or before I sneak out too early in work and end up, getting in trouble for that, or before, I neglect my responsibilities, maybe I'll think about the repercussions that could happen because of that and preemptively not do it. And preemptively just not do it. By getting this person to think more, because I feel like you're just kind of like that touch base where you're talking things out with them and you're getting them to really think about, oh yeah, these are the things I'm doing that are leading me to where I'm going that I end up having to fix. These things that I have to fix, I create myself. So if I don't want these things to happen, if I don't want to have to pick up these messes, then maybe I shouldn't create these messes. And I feel like it seems like it's getting better. You have a lot of faith between you and this energy between whoever you're dealing with. A lot of faith that's happening. You're feeling a lot better. It looks like things are going to go better for you. in this person. I feel like this ends on a very, like, when you're leaving at this time, you get the pleasure card. I feel like you're still connected. It's just you're not as connected as before, and you're more of an advisory, and you're helping this person like wake up to, like, you know, you're causing that, which is you're causing your own messes. Like, basically, you're showing this person like you're causing your own messes. If you don't want to clean up your own messes, stop creating messes. It just feels like it's going very well. I like how it ends. It feels very good. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching, of course. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.